I am about to run 11 miles. Hey, good morning. It is almost 7 a.m. and I am about to run 11 miles, which is why I wanted to make this video, because this is the longest that I'll be running until my half marathon, which is 2 weeks from now. And so I decided that I would come to the area that my half marathon is going to be at for my long run today, just because it is a bit further away from where I live. And so I just, wanted to see it before running a half here. And so I'm at the Roswell River Walk in Roswell, Georgia, which is like a northern suburb of Atlanta. Never been here before, but there are a lot of people out and walking and running, and the river has this like wonderful haze on it. So things are looking beautiful and I am excited. I brought myself like the whole bag that you would have seen. It has towels in here because after I run 11 miles, I'm not going to be dry. It has my shoes because I didn't put them on yet. It has my vest, so I feel all ready to go. But I just wanted to make this kind of like more dedicated, like prep for half marathon vlog. And in it, I'll talk a little bit too about the training that I've been doing and like how prepared I feel and everything like that. But first, we have to run 11 miles. That's so long. It's gonna take at least 2 hours, at least. Just started the longest run that I'll have ever done. One mile done, and my pace is kind of suffering due to the fact that I keep stopping to take pictures, but it is so beautiful. Four miles in, and I went off the river walk for a while, so I didn't stop to take any more pictures. But I'm back now, and look how pretty. This is incredible. My half marathon's gonna be at nighttime, so it's not gonna quite look like this. It's gonna be dark for most of it, but I'm feeling really good right now. Bathroom break at 6 miles. I'm feeling good. I'm soaking wet. It's so hard to get an outfit back on. After you go to the bathroom when you're running, everything that I'm wearing right now is from Amazon. This running vest is from Amazon, linked in my storefront. This bra is from Amazon. These are from Amazon. And my socks down there are from Amazon. Not the shoes, but the socks. Okay, let's get back out there. I have done over 8 miles, which means less than a 5K left. Less than 3 miles left, really, I guess. I'm about to turn around and start heading back to my car. Whenever I went to the bathroom, I was at my car, so there are 2 turnarounds in this run, but we're almost at that final stretch. I'm in that final stretch, 2.5 miles left. I want to go get some coffee, and there's people waiting to take my parking spot, so I feel like I need to head out. Oh my goodness. I honestly feel good given the circumstances. Is it a social faux pas to go into a coffee shop smelling like sweat? Having just run 11 miles, because I feel like that was a little embarrassing. But I got a lavender latte, so I start to feel like a little person again. I am so used to running my long runs and then just getting straight home and going straight in the shower. And so having to drive 30 minutes home right now is not ideal. I am officially showered and smell better. You're welcome. I know you can't tell, but you're welcome regardless. I did want to talk just a little bit about, for those who remember or those who don't remember, just like my running kind of like quote unquote journey. I wish there was a good synonym for journey because I feel like it's gotten so overused and feels cheesy now. But back in April, I was such an anti, like, I will never run. I'm so bad at running. I can never be a runner. And then I kind of got inspiration of, why do I keep telling myself I can't do this whenever I could maybe work and this could be something that I do become comfortable with? I didn't know at that point like what I wanted my end goal to be. It mostly was just trying to turn an I can't into an I can. And so I think the key with running is, one, to go slow, go super slow. And you're gonna hear so many people tell you that, but you just really have to believe it. The first time that I went and ran, I ran a 1350 mile pace, which is not what people who have been running for years and years run. Whatever your pace starts at, that's totally fine, because if you have the mindset of like, I just want to run, then you could be running slower than someone could walk, and it is still, you are running, and it's still building that cardiovascular endurance, and it is still your legs moving, and it is still like being outside if you're running outside and taking in fresh air, having a good time. So in the very beginning, whenever I started running, I very much only had like time goals where it was, I'm just gonna get out and move for 30 minutes. I was okay with taking walk breaks during it. If I needed to, I was okay with going very slow. I didn't have any like, oh, I'm gonna go this specific miles. It was really just, I'm going to move for 30 minutes. And then the first actual mileage goal that I gave myself was about a month after I was just getting out and moving, probably about 3 times a week I was doing it, was that I was gonna run a 5K. I didn't do it like in a race form, I just did it by myself, and it actually happened to be whenever I was home for my little sister's graduation. So I ran my first 5K since starting again in my hometown, which was kind of fun. I remember after finishing that, I had this big moment of like, wow, I have actually gotten better at something. Like I have put in, you know, some work, and I'm kind of seeing some results in the fact that like I could run the 5K. I didn't have to take walking breaks at that point because I've been building up this foundation of endurance. And it was kind of then that my head started poking around with the idea of like, maybe I want to try doing longer distances, like working my way up to longer distances. Something that I think I hear people say, but also like I feel like I was surprised in myself. Whenever I first started running, I hurt so bad. Like running was not fun. I did not get a runner's high. I was wheezing and heaving and felt like I wasn't getting any oxygen because my body and lungs weren't used to doing that. This was probably also partly a sock issue for me, but I was getting blisters that really hurt, that were so painful. My joints were mad at me because they weren't used to like pounding like that on pavement, and I was in pain. Now there is a difference between being in pain because your body is not used to something and you are sore and you are getting better, and there's a difference between that and being injured. So that's a good thing to, you know, think in your head that if you are injured in some sort of way, that's going to hurt, and that does not mean necessarily, no, it does not mean push through it. But the pain that I was feeling, I was not injured. It was just the fact that I was doing something new that my body was not used to. It hurt, but I kept doing it. I would say on average from April to now, I've been running 3 to 4 times per week. My structure personally is that I run a long run on Saturdays, and then through the week I have 2 to 3 other runs that fall maybe usually like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. 2 of those are easy runs where I'm trying to just keep my heart rate down. I'm going slow. It's a recovery run. Like I'm not pushing pace. I'm not doing anything too hard. I'm just building that foundation of that endurance. And then one of those runs has usually been a tempo run, which I've been using the Nike Run Club app for. And that just means that there will be like intervals of running a little bit faster, okay, back off for a minute, go really fast for 30 seconds, okay, do like halfway jog, you know, it's like that kind of tempo, changing up the speed type run. And then slowly over mostly June, July, a little bit in May, I've been climbing miles in my long runs, and then also going on a bit longer runs during the week. By that I mean I used to run like 2 miles during the week, and now it's like 4 miles during the week at a time, like 4 mile runs. Something else that was so hard in the beginning was that my brain would just be so focused during runs on like, when is this gonna be done? When is this gonna be done? I was so bored during runs. And something that has helped with that, obviously having a good playlist, everyone's gonna tell you that, but really having songs that you enjoy. And for me, I try not to listen to the songs that are on my run playlist unless I'm running, so that I don't like overhear them, you know? So if they're on my run playlist, they're not really, I skip them in real life. And then also, I've been using the Nike Run Club guided runs, and those have been game-changing for me. I feel like, as far as the mentality brain part goes. The actual app that I like track my runs in and like most keep track of it is Map My Run. It's powered by Under Armour, but that one I just like the best for like how it measures, and I've used it for the longest, like back when I ran when I was young. But Nike Run Club does have guided runs that have been very, very good to me. It just helps give motivation and also helps like check in, so you don't have to be like pulling out your phone checking the distance, and you can listen to music too with the guided run. It'll just like turn it down a little bit while they're talking and then turn it back up whenever you're by yourself for little chunks of time. So that has been very helpful. I feel like this has kind of been all over the place. It's like as I'm thinking about it. I do have my half marathon 2 weeks from now. It's so wild to me. It's genuinely so wild to me, the fact that that is coming. When I started getting to runs that were probably greater than 5 miles is when I started looking at fueling and hydrating during runs. Also, I was reaching those distances like in the very heat of summer, which we're still honestly in, but you know, running 5 miles in July, you have different water needs than if you're running 5 miles in the winter, which is just something to keep in mind. But I started thinking that I needed to bring fuel and water with me, probably like 5 miles and above. The first thing that I tried was a flip belt, which you may see people wear, hear about people wearing. A lot of people love them, so this very much works for a lot of people. A flip belt is a little belt that goes around that has little openings, so you can slide in your phone, you can slide in any like food you bring with you, you can slide in your key, you can slide in your AirPod case. Mine just didn't fit me well, but I didn't feel like I could size up because I felt like it would be too big then, and it just wasn't my favorite thing. So I got my running vest off of Amazon, which you would have seen me wear today. And that's what I've been wearing for any runs that I need water on. It has a water bladder in the back and a little like spout that I just pull out and drink some and then tuck it back in. And it has pockets, which is where I put my fuel that I'm bringing. It's where I put my phone. It's where I put my AirPod case. It's where I put my car key today. It's where I put an extra hair tie. I'm trying to think if I ever carry anything else. I feel like that's most of it. The food that I've been having during runs, I've only tried one thing and I've just stuck with it because it's been working, but they are Honey Stinger Energy Chews. They look like this. I get the fruit smoothie flavor, which I am like just now seeing it's actually 3 assorted flavors in here. I just thought it was all the same thing. But I guess there's cherry, orange, and berry inside of here. They are like fruit snacks, honestly. A serving size is 6 chews. And from what I've heard, it's good to have like a serving size, maybe like every 4 miles, every 40 minutes or so, depending on what feels best to you. Everybody's a little bit different in their needs as far as like drinking and eating. For me, what has like really worked is on my longer runs, I'll pick one and then I'll either hydrate on odd miles and eat on even miles, or I'll hydrate on even miles and eat on odd miles. And it kind of depends on the amount that I'm going. For instance, when I went 11 today, it wouldn't have made sense for me to eat at 10 miles because I just had 1 mile left. So today I was drinking water on the even miles and I was eating on the odd miles, which means that I'm eating only every 2 miles, which you don't quite need fuel every that often, but I was only taking 3 little chews at a time. So it was like a half serving every 2 miles instead of a full serving every 4 miles. For me, that has really worked though, because it just takes like the brain power away from it of like, oh, have I reached 40 minutes? Oh man, I missed it. I don't know. It's not even like that part's that hard, but every time that it announces in my ear that I've done another mile, I'm like, okay, 6 miles, that means I'm drinking, or like 7 miles, that means I'm having some of my chews. Fueling is game-changing, I think, in those longer runs. I don't think I would be able to run as long as I have been on Saturdays if I wasn't doing my energy chews and drinking during the run. Because not only does it help you get through long runs, but it also helps you in your recovery because you're not just like negative so many calories whenever you're done. Whenever I ran 7 miles for the first time, I ran it on a Friday night because the air quality was bad that week, and Friday night was the only time that it like went down enough that I could run outside. So it really like turned into a 7-mile run while I was on the run. So I did not bring water and I did not bring my energy chews, and I felt it during the recovery of just like, I felt awful when I finished the run. I felt sick to my stomach, I felt lightheaded. I just had to like lay down, and I felt so bad. So I mean, correlation does not equal causation, but also the fact that the only longer run that I've done that I haven't hydrated and fueled on is the one that I just felt so awful afterwards. Seems like they kind of go together. Something that I want to do, because this video, obviously, like, I'm talking about running, I'm giving some tips. We ran together in the morning, but it is just a training video, whereas I have my half marathon itself coming up. And so if you have questions specific to like my running journey, or like how to become a runner yourself, how to start, anything like that, please leave them in the comments of this video and I will answer them in my half marathon video. I will also do a little question box on my Instagram story at some point. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure to follow me on Instagram so you don't miss that if you do have questions. Because I know that I had so many questions whenever I started of like, how do I do this best? How does this work? Like, what's the best training plan? All of that. A lot of it is going to be different person to person, but I'm happy to give like what I've learned or what has worked for me so that it gives you another option of something to try out to figure out what works for you. Never did I ever think that I would be able to run 11 miles, but the fact that I did, like, I feel very confident. As of right now, it's 2 weeks away, but I feel very confident going into my half marathon, which is an awesome feeling to have. It really is. I hope that this video was helpful to you. I know that it wasn't the most organized. I'm obviously not an expert, like I'm very new at this myself, but it has been something that I've been really loving and that I've really enjoyed spending time doing, pouring my afternoons and Saturday mornings into. If you have a run coming up, good luck. I'm cheering for you. Remember to put questions in the comments and follow me on Instagram so you can see when I ask for questions on my Instagram story. But thanks for joining me in this video. Thanks for running with me, and I'll see you next time.